Our dream in 1980 was to create America's first Black History Wax Museum, and by so doing, to send a message to our children that they did not have to be ashamed of their skin color or their hair texture or all of those very unimportant things that we used as a way of not always feeling good about ourselves. To say to them that we are a people who have faced tremendous odds, but who have also excelled in every field of endeavor, and to say that we owe a debt of gratitude to so many of our ancestors who paved the way, and to give children a sense of those ancestors. When my husband Elmer and I started out, we had no money, no knowledge about how you start a Black History Wax Museum. We were looking for something to do as a way of offsetting some of the negative conditions in our community. We got the idea by visiting a wax museum in Florida that was not a Black History Wax Museum, of course, but that the wax medium might be an ideal way to depict our stories, especially a story that's been largely faceless. But we didn't have any money, so we took some money that we were saving to make a down payment on a house. We borrowed from a bank. We had friends who donated some of their meager savings, and we bought 4 wax figures that we would take around the city of Baltimore, D.C. metropolitan area, and set up it as exhibits. We would collect money, and sometimes we didn't really even start the idea of collecting money. We would take our Mary McLeod Bethune figure back home with us to our 2-bedroom apartment, and when we would look and someone would have pressed $1 or $5 or whatever in the hymn into her lap. And so that was our very, very humble beginning, definitely a very grassroots organization. Well, Great Blacks in Wax is 25 years old now. And when we started out in 1983, or even when we started out in 1980, when we were taking those 4 figures and throwing them into the hatchback of my car and setting them up as exhibits in schools and churches and malls and so forth, and then taking them home with us to our 2-bedroom apartment. The dream was at that time simply to make the project work, and we didn't think about it beyond that. So for me, the idea that we have survived 25 years and still growing as a museum is certainly something that I thank God for every day. But it's not over, and that's very gratifying for me too, that I still have young people who come in and they leave the museum sometimes crying because they feel the passion that this museum is. They feel the sacrifices that have gone into those things that they sometimes can take for granted. So if we can continue to do that, that's very much a part of the dream. If we can continue to impact the lives and the feelings and the beliefs of our children, then I feel that our dream will still live. We own all of the properties here in the 1600 block of North Avenue, so if we can create a mega museum that goes from Bond Street on North Avenue to Broadway on North Avenue, then the dream is still alive and is accomplishing what my late husband Elmer sacrificed for and gave his life for. And if I can look back one day and know that I have paid honor to my late husband, who gave everything that he had to make this project work, then the dream will have been partially fulfilled, because I would like to think that there will always be something, whether when I'm long gone from this earth, I would like to think that a part of the dream is that Great Blacks in Wax still exists. And I would like to think that there is someone who still has a passion for helping to tell our story through the National Great Blacks in Wax Museum.